Hey everyone, welcome to Infinite Realms. Today I'm going to take a look at a figure I did not know existed until I just saw him listed somewhere, and honestly it was a really good deal, so I could not resist. It is the Warlord from the Powers of Pain. I've looked around, I don't think they ever did the Barbarian, so I was really surprised by this when I found it. Yeah, it's really just shocked me. And I know I'm going to film this one simultaneously with Macho King Randy Savage. I don't know if, this one might appear months later. So, just because between the Marvel Legends collection that I'm still trying to get reviewed and put up, all the stuff going on in the toy world, I just am finding myself not with a lot of time. So, my reviews may seem sporadic and very inconsistent, and my primary point of this channel was to walk you through my journey of toy collecting in the modern world. I did want to be diving into more vintage, just some deals that came along caused me to, my funds went to those deals for more modern figures like the Marvel Legends collection, and I haven't been able to dig into some of the vintage stuff I want to get into. Hopefully that'll change really soon, but until then, we'll just keep going as we're going. This is an older figure, but it still would be considered modern. I mean, it is the Warlord from the Powers of Pain. As far as I know, the Barbarian was never done. I think I've said that, but I want to make sure I make that point. I know he was done in the Jakks Pacific line, so it was Warlord, I think. But I don't think it was done too well. I feel fairly confident I had those figures at one time. Again, I don't want to try to rebuild that line from way back when. I just, I'm finding most of these Mattels to be, right about now, they're just really, really good. And I'm just thinking that's where I need to be focusing on, because they're giving the stuff I want, the double joints and pinless and all that. So let's get him down off the spinner and give him get him in the ring. This is going to be interesting. I've never done a wrestling review like this way before, in this style, so this should be fun. Okay, and this is Warlord in the ring, and here is his accessories. He's got two cuppy hands. Really has a lot of accessories. Okay, well, I guess you could call this overlay, and this is a separate overlay. I guess you could call those accessories as well. Maybe, I don't know. The Warlord and the Barbarian were, of course, the counter to the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors came in as big, tough, bad guys, and eventually they just got over with the crowd that they were considered good guys, and so they needed bad guys to fight. Well, you couldn't convincingly fight those guys, so they just brought in these big muscle guys. And they were effective. It was not the, Joker and Batman rivalry they had hoped for, similar to the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express that lasted for decades. It might still be going on, I'm not sure. I know Stan Lane's still alive, so he might be just super kicking Ricky Morton in the shins or something. I don't know. I'm joking around, of course. I know Stan Lane's retired and trying to not deal with Bobert right now. We won't get into that. Okay, if you haven't heard, look it up. It's pretty silly. But yeah, this is the Warlord. As far as I can tell, there's not been a Barbarian done. That does sadden me, but I got this one for like $15, and I was like, gosh, if they ever do make a Barbarian, I'm set. Of course, they made the Road Warriors early on, and they've not really hinted that they're going to do them again. So we'll see what happens. Now, normally what I'll do is I'll just have the figures wrestling, and Of course, here is the Macho King, Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. So, I'll probably end up, trying to do some moves with them in the ring while I'm talking. And, I mean, not moves, just like poses and stuff. That's going to be pretty difficult because, I mean, let's just face it. But I need to get up some more kineticism in my my wrestling reviews as well, because it's, I'm trying to put these guys into looking like they're in action, and sometimes it's working, sometimes it ain't. So let's try a few other things here and see what works. So attack from behind by the Barbarian right at the opening bell, and Macho is not doing well. And mashed into the corner by a clothesline. So yeah, you can see very plainly that Barbarian is much larger than most figures, as he should be. I mean, he was a big guy and very muscular, very big arms. So it works. Again, this is removable. It's a little thing down here. I just don't want to remove it because it looks so good. And he looks good posing with Macho, and it is difficult to get figures to pose on these on this type of ring. And okay, so yeah, that's a little more kinetic, but it's also ridiculous. But yeah, he looks good posed, and I really like the face paint, because that just I'm really bringing him into the camera a little too close. But yeah, I really dig the face paint. I just love it. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's standard articulation. I mean, it gets so old with action figures after a while, because it's just so, you know what you're getting. I mean, that's it. You know what you're getting. So, and of course he's pinless, which is always welcome. Love pinless. Pinless tech is where it's at. So yeah, overall, God, I hope soon they do a Warlord. I mean, a Barbarian. Wow, I got my guys wrong. I do hope they do a Barbarian, because I kind of really like this figure a whole lot, honestly. And I would love to have, Road Warriors for this, from Mattel as well. I don't know what the deal is on that. I can't get any official word, No, nobody's answering me. But yeah, I don't understand why they do Warlord and not Barbarian, or at least try to. Or maybe Warlord had a limited window and they just did it, and hoping to do Barbarian later. I don't know. I mean, I hope. My other hope is, if they do Barbarian, it's not to a point where everything's different, and it's not the same kind of action figure. Again, I mean, I'm real picky and choosy on my wrestlers. I've got the mains right now, the Hogans, the Warriors, the AJ Styles, and those guys. So it's getting to a point where it's like, there's few and far between. I think King Harley Race is one that's on my list right now. I never was able to get a hold of that Rikishi, which kind of disappointed me. And, there's a few here and there. I mean, I'm not huge on the WWF wrestlers, primarily because, I don't hate the wrestlers, but it's like there's not anyone in there that really strikes me the way, these guys used to. I mean, these guys stuck out. And, I mean, I heard Jim Cornette say one time, and I kind of agree with this, even though a lot of times I don't agree with Cornette. But he said the problem is that, yeah, they're great athletes, but they have no personality and no character. And I kind of find that to be true. They're just kind of like people standing in the room, if they're not doing super flips or whatever. And, you know, I appreciate that, but at the same time, a good character gets you over. That's why Rey Mysterio stuck out so much in my mind, even still this day. He's a lot slower than he used to be, but, you know, he had a personality. And, you know, again, it's just, there's so many of the modern wrestlers who are just kind of like, you know, whatever, I'm here for a paycheck. And I know that sounds bad, man, but still. And, you know, I like that they kind of went with the WCW look on this. I mean, I think this might be early WWF. But if you remember the career of the Warrior, he had a very drastically changed look later. But this is good. Anyway, if I got to rate him, I'll say 4.5 stars. This is a really good figure. Really solid figure. Big figure, obviously. So, yeah, it works real well. Okay, so that's going to wrap up this review for Infinite Realms. Don't forget to like and subscribe.